I want us to come back into something quite important, which is going to be the last portion of our conversation today. And it has to do with the lockdown ahead of the UN General Assembly. We will have to conjugate that together with the chaos that is ongoing in La République du Cameroon, and it would appear that the football wing of that government of that nation is presenting a very strange, a kind of a strange resistance that has never happened before in that country. And some observers are thinking that it is a time bomb because there'll be repercussions and many things. So, looking at those challenges in the corridors of power, the lockdown of Ambazonia, and whatever propaganda Cameroon is trying to present next week, what do you have to say, Barrister Fru? I'll begin with you and then I'll come to you, Barrister Mbesia.
Paddy, I want to, before I say anything, I'd like to inform Ambazonians and everybody listening to us that Ethiopians has won the fight because the match was played in Garwa today and Cameroon beat Namibia 1-0. Having said that, the lockdown that we have declared is timely. It's timely because it is a message or a letter we're writing to the United Nations General Assembly to say it is time for you to intervene and stop the genocide that is going on in southern Cameroon, perpetrated by La République du Cameroun and France. It's a very powerful statement given by the population of the southern Cameroon, Ambazonia, to the United Nations, telling them that this week that you are meeting, we are sitting down and not doing anything. We are sending a message to you through our consciences that you should stop the genocide that is going on in southern Cameroon and force La République du Cameroon to a negotiating table. That is a message. That is a message. And also to the ICC to ensure that the complaint that the Southern Cameroon filed at the ICC should be activated and acted upon to stop these war criminals from continuing their actions on the vulnerable people of the Southern Cameroon. The third part I want to deal about is the collapse of the Republic of Cameroon. Cameroon now is divided into three main conflict-prone zones. You have the Betis of the Enanga Iboko extraction, the Bulus, Betis of the Bulu extraction, and the northern part of Cameroon. There is a chance of chaos and outright civil war brewing in La République du Cameroon. And we need to understand what is going on there so that we can take the proper measures not to be caught in that match, not to be caught in the chaos that is going to ensure in La République du Cameroon. We have to be alert and prepare consequently. That is my take. Paddy, are you there?
I'm very there. I was just putting some things at the back end. Barrister Mbesia, please.
I think
I was
this
actually
is
watching and enjoying, and I forgot that I'm producing. Yes, Barrister Mbesia.
let me deal with the football saga. You see, looking at it on the face of it, what is Tofi fighting with for? What is the conflict about? We think it's just about football. It's not football. The issue is money. And what are they fighting for? The issue is Cameroon's unwillingness to respect even its own laws. They're saying this, Otofi doesn't have the right to do this. He has the right not to do this. Who can do this? It is all showing the lawlessness in which they exist. They cannot even respect their own decrees. They cannot respect laws that come from their own parliament. Not because they want to disobey them, no, because of the financial interest involved. The Ministry of Sports is in charge of all sports, volleyball, everything you call sports. It's not fighting over volleyball. It's not fighting over handball. It's fighting over football because football comes with a lot of money. They're fighting who will manage that money. It's purely financial. Because if you just with Namibia, you find them, they are going to hire a coach, for example. That's the beginning of the crisis. The coach is going to earn some money. They got an agent who will hire the coach for, say, for example, 100 million, and he will take 20 million, things like that. The minister is involved. He has to get his expedient. They come to this very Namibia thing. If you saw the communique yesterday from the Ministry of Finance, there's a budget for the game. The Secretary General of the Presidency says send the money to the Ministry of Sports. The Minister of Finance said, no, I'm not sending it to the Minister of Sports because there's a budget line to be managed by Fika Food, 2.5 billion, which is what they're using to pay people, high hotels left and right, high bosses that belong to the wife of the minister. So it is money at stake. It's not so much football. It just shows the level of corruption and the degree to which they have sunk. It's not football, it's money. They're fighting who owns what in terms of money. Malikumbe, as you have said, yeah, in this, at the beginning of this segment, we're talking about Ambazonian lawyers, Ambazonian this and that, intellectuals. The Minister of Sports is a professor, agrégé in law. She's director of sports, she's another professor. These are highly educated people to attain that level of professorship and by their own standards, agrégé. And they are violating the laws with impunity. And what did they say? Everywhere they violate the law, say, okay, the president has ordered us to do this. High instructions. There's no law that high instructions. So bottom line, the football thing is not football. Whoever wins the football match is not important. The important thing is what each person takes back home from the management. Their pedants, when you fly to go to Garawa, you're paid. So the delegation that is flown to Garawa by by the minister is paid. He had outstation allowance for that. The delegation that is flown there by the Fika Food is paid. The hotels are paid. And they don't go to every hotel. You bargain to have them in your hotel. The bosses are paid. So it is money which they are fighting over, not football, not sports. That's the bottom line. Then we'll come to our own. What was the question that concerned us? What was the last thing you said?
I'm talking about the
After
lockdown, this chaos
yeah,
that
the
is
lockdown.
there.
Yeah, yeah, thank you.
Barrister
Thank
Fu
you for
has
reminding me.
zoned the three major
Yes,
conflicts, civil
I've
war.
said that. I've had it.
Yeah, go ahead.
I've had the opportunity many times before to say here, if there's anything that we can do to draw international attention to our crisis, it should be done. I'm not against the lockdown, but let it be done strategically. Let it be done in such a way that we don't contradict ourselves. The thing that went wrong with this particular lockdown was that they had said lockdown from the second, which everybody understood. They decided to change the date, and they were changing it on the second when some people had started enforcing it. I think going forward, we should try to avoid those strategic errors. Lockdown, any other thing is good, but we should be very, very strategic. We should also be sure that the lockdown, whatever message you send out there, does not contradict the official policy of this government. Because we're a government. That statement, I said it before, that statement declared the lockdown made give the impression that they were making the lockdown to counter school resumption, which is not our policy. Again, I said yesterday in the APP meeting, we'll have to learn from those errors. We'll move forward and avoid the errors from occurring again. Because the most important thing is where you learn from the mistake, not that the mistake never occur. It will always occur, but we have to learn from it. And so, again, if there's nothing you can do, including lockdown, that will draw the attention of the international community to us, if you can, I'm all for it. But let us do it strategically, tactically, that will benefit from it more. Our people, who are the people on the ground, executing these things will not be in any confusion. If we try to avoid contradictions. Over to you.
That's amazing. So, for Ambazonians who are actually watching this program at the home front, the information we have for you, the news we have for you is the lockdown started today, and therefore you're called upon to stay home. You're called upon to stay home. Monday, it would escalate. Tuesday would escalate. And why? The state army has been ordered to wipe up any defaulter. You would have yourself to blame if you choose by any method to defy it. Let me tell you, those who Cameroon is promising that they will protect you, let me tell you what will happen. They will be the first to kill you and to say that we would have done it. But I can tell you with no fear of contradiction that the state army will wipe you. They have been ordered not to, they don't have barracks to arrest. They will not arrest you. They will wipe you if you opt to defy the lockdown. But Safru, you may want to, you wanted to say something.
Yes, I just wanted to clarify something. The change of the date was necessitated by a security, by an intelligence that the security situation permitted us to do the change. If you look at what you just put up Gabonese was when Gabonese was talking, it's right here. Ambazonia
And
is facing an imminent security threat. So
yeah,
there was an emergency meeting to change that date for strategic reasons, security strategic reasons, and therefore we cannot say that in the future because we are in a revolution and it's fast moving. When a security situation props up, this government has a duty to act immediately, and that's what happened for the change of the date. Thank you.
yeah. You know, the draft has just ended. We're back into a no phase, but the president is calling for draft redemption, which I think we have seen what the federal government was able to achieve from the years
Yes,
through the
yes,
federal government draft. So the lockdown enforcement and why Cameroon is trying to tell the General Assembly that normalcy has returned, and we are telling them no, it hasn't. You have to understand that your resources will have a lot to do in this enablement. Maybe Barrister Ambassia should start with that in conclusion as we talk about federal draft redemption, after draft, what is expected of all the counties that have been drafted, and then we will outline for you some of the projects we have before for October 1st and how you can participate with us. Let me begin with you in conclusion, Barrister Mbesia. You give your final statement before we hear from Barrister Fro.
Well, I think I said earlier when we just started this discussion, there's no end to draft. The draft will end when the war ends. And in fact, will be transformed into a tax. So we must draft. The first phase has taken a break. We will continue to draft and let people complain they are right. There is donor fatigue. People get tired of those things. But really committed people don't get tired. We'll continue to draft. This is not the first draft I've said. Remember, we have MTT. That was a form of draft. Whatever thing that one did, the war did not end. We evolved into this and we multiplied several times the thing. The draft will continue. But again, people say, I heard someone say yesterday in the APP meeting, the more action the people see on the ground, the more encouraged they are. We can only promise that our ASA people would use the draft in the best way they can to encourage people at home to see the need for it, to encourage donors to continue the draft and to draft and to draft until the war comes to an end. What has pushed up to this point for the past 7 years has been the draft. If somebody tells you that those guys are just fighting there and getting wounded and not being treated, it's a lie. A soldier is wounded, he has a snake bite, we have to treat him. We need a cutlass, we buy it with money. We need a spear, we don't make spears, we buy those things. And so money is actually important. The little that you can provide might not be the joker, but it contributes to the joker. So contribute. The draft is on. It is just on a break. I don't think that has ended. The brush is taking the draft is taking a break and will come back stronger, drafting better and bigger and bigger. And so we should be encouraged. From what we see so far, up to this point, I think Yaoundé did not believe we could get there. Amazon says, we are at the entrance. We don't know what happens to Yaoundé tomorrow or next month. It is the draft that will take us through because we will need our boys to go to Buya and take over control, to move to Bamenda or to any other urban place and send away the criminals who are occupying us. That will need money. We will not walk on foot from Bengui to Bamenda, either in Bengui. They will not walk on foot from Manfe to Buya, either in Manfe. They will need the right cars. They will need motorbikes to do all those journeys, which will depend for now on the draft. Given that we're in exile, we don't have anything to sign in treasury and get money out of it. We'll do it. Let the people do it. Let us be encouraged. Let us not be discouraged in anything that comes Amazonian. And summarily put, I think I'm right. We are winning this thing and we're winning big. So don't be discouraged. Don't mind about manipulations. Don't mind about anything. Even they say everything has returned to normal. The ambassador statement still stands. The support, we must go to the conference table and negotiate our way out of this thing. That will still need money. So continue to draft, continue to be encouraged. If there must be lockdown, it should. And as far as lockdown is concerned, it is safer for you, even if you don't like it, lockdown, to stay in your house for 1 week than to risk going up the streets just because you want to show defiance, which defiance might end in your own life or the life of your children. So stay home, keep your motorbike if that's what you do. If you're just a man or woman, stay home for 1 week. That will not kill you, at least for your own safety. And so those things are important. Those parameters are very, very important for us to respect. Over to you.
Bastafro, please.
I like to take this opportunity to thank Ambazonians for being resilient, and they are financing their own war effort. This is the only country in the world, the only people in the world that have been fighting a war, and nobody, no, they have no other source of income other than from the population of the people of the Southern Cameroons, particularly our people in the diaspora. I take this opportunity to thank them for the sacrifices they have been doing so far, and we are winning because of the participation of every one of us. No matter how small it has come a long way. The federal government draft has done wonders, and everybody has seen what the federal government draft has done this year, 2024. Therefore, we are looking to see what the county draft that we have just finished will do. It is not much, but If you listen to the president yesterday, he said the counties and the LGA should now prepare for 1st of October. That is our own Independence Day. That is a big day for us. And if we were free, I don't think anybody will go to sleep on the 1st of October. But now that we are not on the ground and our soldiers are on the ground, the counties and the LGA should ensure that they have what it takes to do their parade, to enjoy the day, and to be merry, to know that they have their own country, they are in control of their own country. So I take this opportunity to thank all of us for the draft season. For those who have not redeemed their draft, federal draft especially, please continue to do that because the president will be issuing the last certificates in December. You have this opportunity from now on to redeem your draft if you have not finished your federal draft. It is very important for us to continue this sacrifice. I know there's a donor fatigue, but it is not, it cannot affect the very